4,000 US dollar gold and 50 US dollar silver. What does it mean? Why has it occurred? And what is in store for the future of the markets going forward? That's what we're going to explore in this video. So hang in there and we'll have a bit of a chat. So how you going, everyone? I haven't made a video in quite a while. It has been probably a couple of months, so I'm planning to get back into it and produce more content. I've kind of just been focusing on capital allocation at the moment and investing and getting the right balance in my portfolio and rebalancing and making sure everything's good. As I've changed strategy a bit, I've pretty much just gone long gold and silver and precious metals and a little bit of oil and gas and energy stocks. So that has taken a bit of work. Sold all my Tesla stock and haven't got any current options contracts at the moment. So no sell puts, no sell calls. So kind of realigned, bought a little bit more physical precious metals, and yeah, that's the go at the moment. So the big news is that 4,000 US dollar gold has been hit and $50 silver. The gold hit $4,000 first. So that is a new all-time high, the first time it's ever broken 4,000 US dollars. And silver has hit $50 for the first time since 45 years. So it hit $50, was it 1980 when the Hunt brothers put on their little squeeze and cornered the market essentially. And then the market was shut down, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, $50 silver, $4,000 gold. It's quite a big milestone, and it's kind of confirmed the macro thesis of precious metals investors and people that have been long gold and silver for perhaps the last decade or two. And it's kind of moving into the next gear. And these price movements kind of tell that story. You know, US dollar is down, maybe 10% over the last year relative to other currencies. Bond yields are rising. Governments such as America and certain European countries pretty much bankrupt. These developed Western countries have dug themselves a massive hole, and you know, they plan to grow their way out of it as usual. But the problem is, when they've done that in the past, the debt levels have been lower. So now they're a lot higher. In the US, they're spending $1 trillion on just interest payments on treasury bonds every year. That's a lot. I think that's more than or equal to the entire defense budget. So yeah, it's getting real out there. It's getting very real. And I'm very glad I positioned early, and maybe other people who have done the same thing are very glad. The scary thing is, this knowledge of gold and silver it's not propagated in the mainstream media. So the general person who hasn't studied economics, macroeconomics, geopolitics, investing, how to buy stocks, how to buy and sell options, they don't have any idea about gold and silver being real money. Yeah, their whole life is, you know, maybe they're 20, 30 years old, their whole life has been under fiat currency. And I mean, mine has as well. I mean, America went off the gold standard in 1971, and you know, because America had a gold standard, other currencies were essentially pegged to the dollar. So essentially gold and silver is re-emerging as the store of value it's always been. It's the purest, gold is the purest form of money. You know, it's indestructible, it's fungible, it's all these things that satisfy the qualities of money. And fiat currencies just don't, because they're not scarce. They can be printed, which they have done. And you know, when in the past you could take your $20 US dollar note in and exchange it for an ounce of gold, that's just not the case anymore. And so the price now reflects pretty much the amount of currency in circulation in US dollars, which has just gone higher and higher, especially since COVID. And inflation's gone up, and people just aren't trusting the currencies anymore. If they're going to lose 10 to 20% of purchasing power every year due to consumer price increases. People are kind of waking up to that. And also, overvaluation in the stock market. You have Tesla 80 times earnings or whatever. Tesla's a fantastic company. I did own Tesla, but I sold it recently. But at 80 times earnings, Nvidia with like $1 trillion market cap or whatever it is, I think shit's got to come down to earth pretty soon in that regard, especially if the economy falters. So, this is just my thoughts as an amateur kind of investor and macro enthusiast. But this is the general consensus of all the people that are much smarter than me that I listen to. And yeah, that's the place at the moment. And gold and silver is just like a really safe place to be. And potentially gold and silver miners. If you trust your brokerage, if you trust the government to not bail in stocks and ownership of companies and all that, gold and silver miners, they're printing cash at the moment if the gold price rises, because their all-in sustaining costs stays the same unless, oil price goes up, energy costs go up, but they haven't done much at the moment. It's just, generally inflation, relative to inflation, has gone up. So, yep, I see gold and silver going up more, and as people realise that their fiat currencies are getting debased and losing purchasing power, a 4% yield isn't going to cut it anymore. Interest in bank accounts or treasury bonds, if your consumer price index is going at like 10 to 20% per year, and you obviously don't trust what the government tells you when they quote CPI numbers. It's like the job numbers. It's like, there's 20,000 new jobs created this month, and then they revise it down. Like, it was we lost 90,000 jobs or something. So yeah, of course, don't trust the state. If you do trust the state, try and think about if they have your interests at heart or their personal interests at heart, whether they want to protect their pay packets and their positions of power and all that stuff. So yeah, just a short video just to acknowledge the achievement of reaching $4,000 gold and $50 silver. Very bullish, and pretty much most of my portfolio is in gold, silver, and gold and silver related stocks at the moment. One stock I will mention, or one security that you might be interested in, it's not financial advice, but check out GDXY. If you want diversified gold mining ETF, you can buy GDX or SGDM, which is the Sprott Gold Miners ETF. So I hold SGDM. But if you want some income, the company YieldMax, they sell covered calls on the GDX. They do synthetic covered calls, so I think it's a poor man's covered call where they buy an in-the-money call and then they sell an out-of-the-money call. So I don't think they own the GDX stocks directly, but it's like a synthetic covered call strategy where they can make income. It's kind of like owning a stock, but not quite. Where they make income off selling calls, and they will pay you a dividend every month. So I actually bought that last month, and it returned me, I think the dividend yield trailing 12 months is like 44%, and I got a payout of about a 4% monthly return. So 4% a month is a very good return. 44% per year, well, around 4%. So I was very happy with that dividend payment. The stock seems to be tracking SGDM, which I own as well, which is a similar ETF. They pretty much own very similar stocks. So check out GDXY. Yeah, not investment advice, but if you do want some income, of course covered calls might cap the upside, but when I looked at the charts, they were pretty similar. It was like GDX maybe on just general security price appreciation was pretty close to SGDM. So I want to see how that goes. I own both, but yeah, GDXY, the YieldMax covered call ETF, check it out. Otherwise, stackers out there, enjoy the new highs of gold and silver. You know, it could mean tough times ahead, but you know, you will generally be protected in a financial sense if you own real money that can be exchanged for goods and services, and has been for 5,000 years. So, yeah, all right. Saying goodbye from Bangkok, Thailand. Just at a place called The Office in Tong Lo, which is a cool place that I've never been to before. I've heard it talked about a lot, but yeah, I recommend this place for chilling out outside. I really didn't want to go to the co-working space today and sit inside after I've been writing all morning inside my condo. So this is a nice place to chill out, have a chat and get some work done. So yeah, peace everyone, hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon with some more newsletter videos and more specific content videos. So take it easy, bye.